Now, vitamin D, I tell my patients, I want your vitamin D levels above 60 at baseline.
Yep.
If you came to me late and you got a vitamin D of 30, you got to be taking some vitamin D during this illness.
Absolutely. So I use injectables.
Mm.
You can get through some of these compounding pharmacies an injectable version. Some of them come 50,000 units per ml, some come 100,000 units ml. I actually had a client that was coming to me weekly to get IV infusions just prophylactically with vitamin D shots. When I got him, he's had a level about 25. 2 years later, with a 50,000 cc, or sorry, 50,000 unit injection, which was a half an ml weekly injection, which everybody's like, oh, be careful, you might knock out his parathyroid. He was at 69 2 years later.
Mm.
So it just goes to show we already have a difficulty trying to absorb it orally. Then we're not, synthesizing it from the sun. So I said, bypass that liver and just inject it. And wow, what an improvement on that. So something you should look into, especially if you have a lot of people coming in to your location.
I just recommend my patients tan naked in the sun.
That's right. You do too. Yeah. I'm I'm too white for that. And then remember, we got all these vain women out here that are sunblocking to death.
I know.
So you
Vitamin
gotta
D
find other.
deficiency is an epidemic. I haven't seen a patient above 40, really.
It's super hard, super hard. I don't know what it is, what's happened to us. Maybe UVs or sunblock or whatever the case is, but people are really not synthesizing or absorbing vitamin D. I agree with you.
They're not in the sun as much as they think they are. And when they do go out in the sun, they cover up with clothing and sunscreen.
Sure. I mean, what if it's a recommendation? 20 minutes on your back,
Yeah, that's nothing.
so that way you can get, it's nothing. Yeah. You barely get pink.
And that's like the huge part with this pandemic is that there's been no discussion about vitamin D. But if you look at the studies of who's in the hospital sick with COVID, they have low vitamin D, all of them.
Right. Well, it's really hard to say because, as you know, when you run labs on an individual, first of all, it's a very expensive lab. Even Medicare doesn't want to cover this lab, right?
Vitamin D?
So yeah, vitamin D, insurance companies don't want to pay for it.
Well,
They
I
don't find it to
can get you
be
hooked up with my lab. It's cheap. Like, I don't know, $10, $6.
really. Oh,
Yeah,
yeah, we have to talk. We're gonna
yeah.
have to talk. Some of the big labs are like, it's super expensive. So, but I just put everybody should be taking vitamin D. I think it's very hard to absorb, number one. So if you're taking 1 to 2,000 daily, you're definitely safe with that dose. Even 5,000 actively ill, you should be taking on a daily basis. Remember, prescriptive strength is 50,000 once a week. So you're not even taking 5,000 a day. You're not even hitting that mark by the
That's
end of the
nothing.
week.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hmm.
What else do I like? I like